Hello, people. Saying hello to nobody. Nobody online. Nobody loves me. Where are my sausages at? My Valhalla sausages. It is so hot. It is so hot. Jesus. All right, just test my levels. Testing. Hello. Let's see if my 2 Twitch subscribers are going to turn up. See, technically, my subscribers doubled. Come in. Don't be scared, homie. Oh. Just waiting on the crew. J-Bus, man, how's it going? My AC still isn't fixed, so I am sweating. But now, I'm like, at first, I'm like, I can't handle it. I can't do it. I can't do these streams when it's this hot. And then I remembered, what am I, a little pussy? I shouldn't say bad words before. In the first, like, 2 minutes. I'm so sick. That's why I want to get off YouTube. I hate these YouTube rules where you can have wrong think and wrong speak. You know? If you're letting your kids watch a heavy metal lunatic like me, a wild-eyed loner staring into the abyss, I don't know, dude. I'm going to try a new thing. I've got, for chat, to keep up on it, because, you know, it's we're learning here. I bought this, and to go on this is like a stand, so I can just look at chat from here without like peering over my microphone and all that shit. And the wonderful people at Amazon, because they hate competition for things like Twitch, they don't allow chat on YouTube, so I can't even read the chat. I can watch myself. So there might be some sort of app that they have that gathers chat, but, you know, I'm up against it. So I'm trying on my phone, but I can barely read the text on my phone from here. So let's see what goes on. Let's see if I'm even live right now for you people. Because I've got so many reports that nobody's getting notifications that I'm getting, that I'm going online. Is it because I start most of my streams with like, I hate YouTube, I hate YouTube, I hate YouTube. And it's like, okay, let's ghost this bitch. There I am. Oh, that's great. It won't go sideways. Chat. Oh, there you go. All right, boys, let's see what's up. We got 7 sausages live. Was it something I said? Beethoven 3, hey, what's up, man? Simon P, what up, homie? Missed the live streams lately. Hey, man, it's unforgivable. I'll never forgive you. Jay Busk. I'd say that it kind of matters when you first cut the strings. Sorry, I can't fucking read this chat. Jay Busk, regarding strings and heavy distortion, I'd say it kind of matters when you first out the strings. When you first put the strings on, they will sound brighter and have more clarity, but after a few hours, I say it doesn't really make a difference. Yeah, it depends on the intensity of playing, but what we're going to do it live, where I have a guitar right here. You probably see the top of it. And I'm going to play some guitar. It's like 10:30 already here, so I can't really play. I'm playing pretty loud in here, so I have to mute this on there, and you know, set up the guitar. It should take me just a few clicks, and I'll mute this mic, and I'll put on. I've got a couple of microphones in the room, so it's not like just close micing. It's similar in actually being in the room with the amp. So it's like I got the old spit roast of, you know, one in the front, one in the back, with microphones on the combo. You can see the combo glowing away down there. It's a Mesa Boogie single reverb. What's it called? Rectoverb, with the Black Shadow speaker. So it's like we got a good mic up front. It's the older version of the SM57, the Unidyne microphone, and it's the one I use on my Iron Maiden video. It's like my favorite mic for mids. You know, it's not great for low end and stuff like that. And I've also got a microphone in the side, in the corner of the room, which is an actual large condenser, large diaphragm condenser. So it sounds like shit on its own, but I've panned the back mic to one side, and I panned the condenser and the room mic, if you will, on the other side, and then I've got the Iron Maiden microphone straight up the middle. So let's have a crack. All right. Let's see. So you're not going to be able to hear me. So I'll need some feedback in the chat. Let me go through chat real quick. Star0777, rock on from California. Hey, man. We got Avi. Avi's back, my Scotland flower. Hello. Simon P. Okay, your notifications are good. Oh, that's good. Yeah, can you comment to see if you got the notification or not? Because it didn't just pop up on I was on my channel just now, and my video, me going live did not pop up, you know, when I refreshed. I had to literally go to my live tab and everything. Donald the Scottish twin. Older strings can achieve a muddy sound unless that's what you want. With the Tube Screamer, it's more noticeable. Yeah, on this one, I'm just going amp. A Tube Screamer would make this sound way better, because the classic Recto and Tube Screamer is the sound, man. You know, even me as an anti-vanilla sausage person, when it comes to that sound, for certain styles, it's not super tight. It's not Marshall Tube Screamer tight, but it's that fucking low end, brother. The only good thing for Mesa is low end, if you like that type of thing. Yeah, Brian Jenkins, yeah, for pinch harmonics, yeah, it definitely helps with that. I mean, we are talking rust on these strings. I can't give you a close-up, but we're talking some of the strings are almost black. And I noticed it when I was playing it. I was like, oh, what's going on with this? And then I look at the guitar, and I'm like, it's a dirty girl. Hold on, I'm fucking sweating. So yeah, we were in the sauna. We were in the trenches with my sausages. But yeah, it's when it comes to heavy distortion, I want to see I'm going to chug, I'm going to do fast speed picking, I'm going to go on the neck pickup, the upper strings. Some people like Brian May, they actually don't like to change their strings because of when he's at the end of the day, when he's using a Vox and those speakers and a treble booster, that can be a lot of treble. So sometimes, can you get more analog than that, where you slap some fucking dirt on your strings and it makes it sound more mellower, you know? So it's like, sometimes it's horses for courses. But so it'd be interesting to see how it, when this is all set up now. You see this this mixer that's going to be for my Brian May and my video that I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to try and do a live tone recreation, so you're going to get a little sneak peek of the sound that I have set up for it, because he did Parisian Walkways with a Mesa combo. So I have a Mesa combo. It's probably the Mark II or something, because it's such an old record when he recorded it. But you know, I got a Mesa, let's use it. I've got the amps that he used live, which is what most people actually prefer, the live version of Parisian Walkways to the studio version, but the studio version is awesome too. And I got some good stories about the recording of that. But that's tomorrow, and it's going to be hot because my AC is broken in Florida. Abby, I've been motivated by these chats to work on my music again. That's awesome, man. Just like if I'm gonna look at the camera, look at my sausages. Oh, I see you all. You're all fucking good on guitar. You all got the best amps, the best gear, the best pickups, my pickups. And it doesn't matter. Songwriting and blending with others, with other savages, with other sausages. Get you sausage, we need a sausage blend, all right? We need Cumbrian sausages. We need fucking, I can't think of other sausages. Spicy sausages. J-Bus, do I ever listen to Candlemass? No. I thought they were too cheesy for me. The whole look, the whole spiel, you know, it was too much cheese. But I respect them for what they did for the doom metal thing. And I'm glad to see you're motivated, man. But yeah, let's get together. There's sometimes you actually have to really chase people, because some people, you'll say, do you want to join a band? And they go, no, really. If you fucking work on them, don't take no for an answer. You fucking turn up outside their house with a boombox over your head with your music and say, hey, let's do this. Are you happy? You know what you're doing? You could be happy together with me, sweating in a room in Florida. Physique 1970, hey, how's it going, man? BMC guitar, yo, yo. How are your lessons going? BMC guitar, do new strings matter for heavy? Not really, in my opinion, is what he says, BMC. And honestly, it's like, when it comes to really heavy distortion, it's not as night and day as you might think it is. For things like clean bass guitars, new strings are like fucking, it's like lifting the old amp forum days, lifting the blanket off the amp. Remember all that shit? And glistening for metal. Ryan Swain at LAX, leaving from California to Florida. All right. It's been bring a thin raincoat, because it is fucking hammering down every day around like 1 o'clock. It actually didn't rain today, but it's practically all week it's been raining, and I like it because my AC's broken, so I can go dance in the rain. Star0777, not a fan of new strings, don't like the ping and brightness, but I'm paranoid on breaking strings live, so I'll swap them every other show. Yeah, wear and tear. When you break strings, really dig into which one keeps breaking, because often it's a mechanical thing that's causing them to break, like a burr on the saddle, so you can just get a little bit of sandpaper and round off all the burrs and everything. You know, this is particularly this guitar right here. It was one of the ones that I was going to put out, but there wasn't really any interest. So on this, I have one of my favorite tones of all time, one of my favorite guitars of all time. What I do is I pinch a little bit from all eras. And the early SG, the one that used to have the PAF pickups in it, the PAFs, and it also had the nylon saddles. So because this was more of my live guitar, with nylon saddles, it doesn't break as often as the steel saddles. So with this, and then what nylon does, it very slightly mellows out the tone, because my fucking pickups are so transparent. Every little mistake, every scree itch, you know, I highly recommend, if you get my pickups, which will be going for sale in a month or so, I highly get 300k parts, because 500k parts, it gets a bit too squirrely in the top end. But yeah. So, but that helps deaden these pickups a little bit, because sometimes I actually went, my whole quest was, I want every expression from my fingers and fretboard to come out of these pickups. And sometimes it's like, careful what you wish for, you know? So yeah, I got nylon things on here, helps. Also, even the break angles, all sorts of things help. So yeah, this was, it doesn't match because the bridge is gold. It's got a vintage bridge, which I put on there. So I need this to be more silver. But I've got old Bones. I got Bones. They did, and Bones did these weird looking pots. They're like black squares, and they are trying to replicate, even not in looks, but replicate in sound the old Central Lab pots from Gibson. So I got that in there. I have my own wire, my own vintage wire from the 60s in there. And I also have a legit Bumblebee cap from the 50s in there. I've got a lot of them. I got about 10 of them because they're essentially leaking and broken, and they as well do a better job of taming the shizzle frizzle that you get from vintage sounding pickups like mine. I got Jessica frets on it. I didn't get the stainless steel frets because I actually think that the regular nickel, every time I've tried stainless steels, I don't think they sound as good. There's something off. It's just me, my personal thing. Got a bone nut, and I have Grover, just regular non-locking Grover tuners, and that's it. I also, you probably see in Les Paul, you don't often see maple fretboards, but I love maple because, again, a little bit more spank in the bank. And it's got a cap. It's got a big maple cap and then mahogany back. So also, this is a bolt-on because I actually like bolt-ons because when you have a set neck, there isn't much difference in tone between a bolt-on and a set neck. Let's get that fucking straight. But with bolt-ons, you can actually shim the neck. You can shim the neck. Now, shimming the neck will technically give you less sustain. But if the break angle is fucking perfect, it helps more than if it's set. If it's a set neck, you can only mess with the truss rod. If you have the truss rod working with you and tiny shims behind the neck, you can fucking nail it to perfection. Because that was the idea behind. I actually kind of regret only having the one tone and one volume, but it was more for studio use. So I think I should have gone with a 4, but I really don't really blend pickups that often, and so it doesn't matter that much. And these are my own pickups. And the wire, the internal wire is regular, modern copper wire, but the hot and the ground, they are vintage old wire that's in there, because I just trust the composition that they used to use in copper back then than I do now, because they really, to say the copper wire is copper is they shine like they're copper, but there's a lot of pot metal mixed in just to cheapen. Actually, so then it's not as good as a connector. So that's my big thing is everything is about anchor points on a guitar. Anchor points, right? The more solid your anchor point, like this is drilled, big fucking posts drilled into one of the hardest woods that you can buy, and within reason. And it's solid. The only thing that isn't as solid as it could be is the nylon saddle. So for a recording, this is more a live guitar, so I don't want the string breakage, because I really dig in. But for recording, this is for live, this is great, because nylon is better for tuning, because the string slips all back and forth. It never catches on it a little bit, So that's my guitar, which I was going to release, but there was no. Also, the body, like in my advertising, I said the body shape is going to be different. The whole shape of it is slightly different, just to make it better when you sit and record, so it doesn't dig into you, or it's more balanced, and you don't have to. It doesn't slip. So there would have been a material, something, even a stickier type of finish on the back, so that the guitar stays in place without slipping down your leg. Because when you play for a long time and you have a certain material on your legs, it slips down, and it's so fucking annoying. All right, enough. Let's hear how it sounds, huh? And remember, keep in mind, this is a This is just a one, no pedals, no boosts, no tweaks. It's just the amp. And master amps, we all know, are a bit fucking flubby on their own. They need a lot. They need a lot of help. Unlike Marshalls, they need a lot of help. A lot of boosts. And I'm so confident in this guitar, I'm not even going to tune it because I've kind of it's kind of one of those guitars that rarely goes out of tune because I put a lot of thought into it. Yeah, it's in tune. Let's see. Let's have I'll play first. I want to get the playing out of the way, and then we'll change the strings on it live together as a family, and then we can then I'll play again with the new strings. What sucks is that my hands are wet, so I'm gonna be putting nasty because I'm so hot. So it's not ideal to fuck up new strings with sweaty hands because that is how they fail. That's how they don't last. My strings tend to last because I have very dry hands. All right. Boop, boop, boo. Let's put this down here. So you're not going to hear me for a while, so I'll need you guys in chat to let me know if you can hear it. All right, so going dark on the microphone. Clipping on my output. Are you sure it's too quiet? Can you hear me talk now though? Let me know. In the chat. Alright, good. I don't know who he was. pick keeps slipping out of my fingers. Chugging, neck solo, and regular playing to see what the difference is after I change the strings. So let's do a little few. I'll try and remember them the next time round. So let's do it. Chugging. Alright, chords. Get off me. Da-da-da. Bop, bop. Hello, we're back. So, David Clay, I've never heard anyone call Gary Moore a one-trick pony. Gary Moore, he got a bit metal. He started getting a bit metal after this. I think that's what drove a lot of schisms between him and a lot of his peers, because he wanted to go harder than his label and everyone else wanted him to go. I am going to be right back. I got to refill my water jug, so just have a chat amongst yourselves, okay? It's good TV, huh? Don't hate, hydrate. Anthony Gates, it is a workout. When you're playing the thrash metal, you need your electrolytes. And a couple of skulls on it. For her pleasure. What are you going to do? Bitches love skulls. Bread fan, that's right. Anthony Gates, hey man, thanks for the $5. Cheers. Everyone give him some love. Hey, there you go. Sweat equity. I sweat and I get $5. That's kind of how it works. Did that sound good? The actual tone? It sounded mesa boogie, right? It's like in little doses, it's all right, you know. I had one song on my old album that I recorded, one song mesa, because I knew if I did the whole album, it would just be so fucking annoying. Do I know Wonderwall BMC guitar? You hum it, and we'll start a pit. The Zeke 1970 Freebird. Anthony Gates, play him Wings of a Butterfly. I'm not sensitive and introspective enough for that. So what we got here? Let's have a look at the tools. We have let's put it by the whiteboard. We have one of those. We have one of these. Clip the strings. We have Ernie Ball hybrid slinkies. Ta-da! And if you want to know what brand I love the most, it is Ernie Ball coal boats. Fucking expensive. So if I have my Sunday best for strings, it's Ernie Ball coal boats. And I haven't gone down the string the string thing as much recently. I went hard back in the day, trying all of them. And you know what's an underrated string? Is GHS boomers. They're very underrated and cheap for money to cash ratio. Money to cash ratio. Money to tone ratio. Because that's how we live our lives here. All right, let's do it. Set in tune. After all that, let's unplug it. Are you guys you're very, very, very privileged? You're about to watch paint dry of me changing strings in real time, not sped up. So we'll have a chat while I do it. So these things, the best $2 you'll ever spend. Boing. So you're going to see me all sorts of cardinal sins, like sweat dropping on my pickups, and that's why I hadn't potted. Because I am a realistic person, and if you don't pot them, you do lose a little bit of zingy pings. If you don't, you do lose a little bit. But it's just longevity is very important to me. Because these are for life, baby. You can't see how dark, how black these are. Can you see how black these are? If I had another string to hold it up. I'm so dumb. Why am I showing you a string in like 1080p? Anyway, one down. Where am I going to put them so we can be nice and tidy? Because this is something I do which is bad. Let's put them in the handle of truth. I'm really bad when it comes to like disassembling stuff, and I'll just put screws over here, washers over there, and then by the time I need to put it back, it takes me 3 times longer. Now what I should be doing is cleaning my stuff while it's open, but it's pretty clean already. It's been in a case for a while. Let's have a chat. Do I know any Bieber? Honestly, I think Lonely is pretty good. I think his song Lonely is good. I think it's good because he actually means it. And he can play the drums, man. He's actually a good musician who got notoriety on YouTube. He's an early YouTuber. And his appeal to the kids, because, you know, he was like a heartthrob to the teeny girls, along with his actual talent, and he could dance and all the rest of it. I don't hate that on Justin. He played hockey and everything. He could probably kick your ass. And everybody was losing their shit when he was doing things like, you know, driving cars fast and pissing in mop buckets in nightclubs and sleeping around. I'm like, that's fucking rock and roll, bitch. Like, calm down. He's not raping anyone. So yeah, Biebs for life. I'm a believer. A little bit of swagger. And I honestly think he's a nice person. Another reason why I didn't release the guitar is because I had to work on it so much to get it good. I wouldn't want that for a customer buying it. Like, they drilled the retaining, what the fuck they call bridge pegs. There's a word for them, dowels. But they were off to the side, so it's not perfectly aligned. So I had to. That's part of the reason why I have nylon things on this, because I can cut the groove in the nylon. I'm already fucking this up in front of all you nice people. Boo boo boo. Bone nut baby. How many twists do you do? 2.5 times around the sun, generally. I fuck this one up. I'm going to be changing them soon anyway, but so it's because I'm going to sweat on them. This isn't even a half turn. Let's bring it back. Let's do this properly. I got excited. There's a technique that you can use where you go beyond the which I didn't just do. You go beyond the peg until the next peg, and then push it back. So it's so you get the right amount of slack. I don't think I made any sense then, so I'm just going to shut up. And I used to put the string at the base of the tuning peg, but now I do the opposite because I have a feeling the break angle, the less break angle there is, if you don't get the sitar sound, the better, because there's less friction on the actual nut so that it can slip through back and forth not as often. If there's a big tight angle on there, that's just going to cause problems. And it's going to wear the bone of the nut. I got a little tuner on there as well. I go above the E to start, to stretch it out a bit. And then I'll put it to F. And then bend it. Just do bends. I didn't go out of tune. That's how good my fucking guitar is, dude. Stayed at F. I was expecting a lot of slippage. Oh, dude, this guitar's so fucking cool, man. And now we got the clippity doodahs. I just hit my keyboard, so hopefully I didn't just delete this from our simulation. Snap. Oh, what's that? What's that? I'm going to put it safe where I don't usually, right there. Thank you. All right. One down. Isn't this great? Isn't this fun? Oh. Sweating, babies. I know it's a bit too late before I do the second sound test with the amp, because my neighbors, it's 10 o'clock and this is just like, they're actually good. They're good with it, but I don't want to fuck them off, you know? Don't want to be a dick. All right, let's go. Speed run. Let's do a speed run. Wearing out the gears. I should just cut them. Force of habits is a good exercise album. Let's get a move on. I really wish I could clean my fretboard while it is like this. Putting it in a safe place. Run out of lyrics. 36. All right, we're going. I didn't just poke my finger. Life is fine. Boom. Boom. All right. Where's my string winder? Chewing up the bone on my nut. Regular people would wonder what the hell I'm talking about. Let's try and stretch it and bend it. Clippity doodah. Bitch. And that string is like, I'm gonna get you. Because there's a little bit of me left, and I'm going to stab the shit of your finger when you try and reach for the tuners. You're going to be, ow. And I'm going to be, that's what you get for calling me bitch. Bitch. Speed run. I saw a friend of mine change strings. Fuck me. This is the fastest thing I've ever seen. He can do it in seconds. Including cutting all the strings, you know, all the strings like old school circle of tone, all strings flapping everywhere. He just grabbed all of the strings together and did this. and they all just came off. Like, no, he didn't even pull on them. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like a wizard. It's like a tone wizard. Have any of you seen that technique before? Where you just grab all the strings and twist, just do this, and they all come off? It's fucking insane. I've seen some shit, bro. 26s. Oh, if you're wondering what I'm using the hybrid. Is it hybrid slinkies? But these might not be hybrids. Yeah, these are hybrid slinkies. And I started using them because of Hetfield. Hetfield used them. I thought if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. And as I went through life checking out other strings, I was like, these are better. I mean, he probably didn't know. He was like, just 3 strings, great. But I think early ball are probably one of the most populars, right? One of the big ones, the behemoths. What's going on here? Naughty. Stay in your lane, bro. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Speed running. Running and gunning, baby. Where's me winder? It fucking winds me up, wouldn't it? Be funny if I was on mute all this time, just chopping away. Oh, the old tricky dicky, huh? So now I gotta wind it like 50 times. There's, sometimes where the string doesn't go in the groove. It just decides to go wherever the fuck it wants because it is rock and roll punk rock. Sounds a bit shit. What is that? That's better. Stretchy, 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 stretchy. Bendy, 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 bendy. Tuny, tuny. Just sharp. Still sharp, good. Cause I know what the fuck I'm doing when it comes to designing a guitar. Try to do the technique that he did where he twists it around to pull it off. I'm just gonna get Mr. Chomper because he's hungry. Clip it. Three down, 3 to go. Exciting shit. Little Wayne solo. See, even the rappers, with all the bitches, all the money, iced out, fucking girls jumping up and down on their face all day, even they want to be rock stars, you know what I mean? They want to wield that guitar. Like, who wore it best? Lil Wayne or Fred Durst? Imagine how annoying it would be to be Wes Borland in Limp Bizkit, and you got him constantly nagging him, saying, "Oh, I got this riff, I got this. What do you think of this?" With his fucking terrible guitar playing, and he's like, "Oh God." He'd be like, just keep on rolling, baby. That's what time it is. Apparently, Korn wrote a lot of the riffs for the best. I'm not sure if this is true. Maybe you can confirm it in chat. But Korn wrote a lot of Wes Borland's riffs, so he was more of he's a fucking amazing image, amazing execution on the riffs. But I'm not sure if he was the best writer. I know his own stuff didn't really go anywhere. Now, a big era of why new metal was the biggest scene was how good are those drummers? The drummer of fucking Limp Bizkit was fantastic. You know, how good was System of a Down's drummer? Legitimate, like, powerhouses. Now all drummers sound the fucking same because of drum replacement. So I wonder if we should trust the experts with drum replacement. No. Trust the experts who are holding the sticks and capture them, bitch. Furious I am. Oh my god, just stuck myself. Great. Luckily, I stuck myself with the old rusty string. I'm sweating bullets. Windy, 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 wind. Let's go. And when I wind, I hold it in place. I hold it with my thumb underneath the string, and I push the string into the groove of the nut. And then you almost cut your thumb off like a cheese cutter, and then you know it's in tune. This one's just constantly stabbing. It's great. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Bend, bend, bend both ways. Still almost in tune. God, my guitar's good. I would be interested to see how, you know, those strings which are impossible to break, which is fantastic for live. I wonder how they sound tonally versus other strings, versus nickel. What are they even made of? Spider webs? Because that is impressive. Don't touch me, man. The strings are trying to get me with their secrets. Let's see what you're chatting about. Tune, Manic Street Preachers. What a band, man. Welsh boys, isn't it? I actually look like him, kind of. I look like all of the Manic Street Preachers wrapped into one. Look like I could work in the fish market. Anything but Sweet Child. Oh, I started playing it. Nick Jonas. Oh, Avi with the Gary Moore with the One Trick Wonder. Kind of was a One Trick Wonder scales wise. Yeah, he was kind of stuck. He was stuck in the blues. Physique 1970. No AC. How is sleep possible in Florida without AC? It's I've been sleeping during the day. Okay, 2 more to go. Let's go. There's no chat. It's getting late. Don't wanna piss off the neighbors because I am rock and roll. Worrying about my neighbors. Fucking wind me up, will it? If you stab me one more time, is there some sort of like protective fingers that we can have that stops me from getting stabbed? I mean, I'm a victim. When it comes to straight white males, nobody cares when we are the victim of being stabbed by guitar strings. Imagine how unconvincing I would be as trans. My fucking buffalo head. Hey, boys. My fucking legs are huge. I could not pull that off. That is an ectomorph grift. You go here, you go there, you'll be good. Be good, no stabby. Almost done, boys. And then we can see, I might chop this live up to make it more palatable for just a regular upload. See what's going on. Well, one of the reasons I started going live more often is I fucking hate editing video. Because editing video software is the buggiest, most fucking unpredictable bunch of shit. I'm sweating on my guitar. I'm sweating for my art. Gone too high. Stretchy. Bendy. I can only bend this one way. Ah. It's impressive. Oh, that's a nice big blob of sweat that just went over my new strings. Can you see the sweat dripping off my face? I need to get out of Florida. It is hell. And it's so boring. Unless you're in like one of the big cities. It's nothing but old people. Fucking as far as the eye can see. At least it used to have like a death metal scene and everything. Florida is so backwards in music. They're still into the fucking go grind. Still. I've noticed it is starting to slip towards hardcore a little bit. And blackened shit, usual blackened bullshit. But go grind or porno grind. There's those two, the porn grind. La 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 la. We're almost there. We're going. They got a fucking weave behind me of strings. Oh shit, one's on the floor. It's all falling apart. I would pick it up, but my back is fucked. Timmy Gann, is this really Circular Tone live? Yep, it is. With a guitar. I figured out the way my absolutely awful streaming software works. It does not work well with audio interfaces, so I've had to put a mixer, this guy, in the mix too, so I can play live. Because I don't like to do like 2 microphones. I like to do usually 3. One for the meat, for the close micing. One for a bit of flavor. And one for the room. And one for Jesus. How's it going, by the way? I've noticed you left a few nice comments on my channel recently, so that was nice. Always nice to see. Good, you guys. You Valhalla sausages are awesome. I do look. I don't want to snap yet. I just said it. So now I'm tempting fate. All right, my babies, they're on. Just got to do one last clippity doo dah. I've noticed it's almost impossible to clip them so far down that you never get any protruding stabby stabs. I'm so hot, bro. I'm running out of water, running out of the will to live. All right, now we got to fine tune. What I do instead of tuning to begin with, I keep bending. It kind of stretches it back down. If I'm sharp, I'll bend it till it's in tune. I'd leave it very slightly sharp before I move on to the next one. What? Sweating on my shit, my lord. Look how fuzzy my hair's getting with the heat. Feel the heat. Remember when like pop and rock stars were all ugly, like Michael McDonald? Well, he wasn't ugly, but he looked like a fucking dad, like a math teacher. There was so much more substance in music with ugly musicians. What gauge? Hybrid slinkies. So it's like 46 to 9s, I think. What is it? Oh, my back. Oh. Yeah, 46 to 9s. That's for standard tuning. I don't go down very often. If I do go down, 56. I don't like to go down. Because really low tuning on Gibson style guitars isn't really a good idea. Just gotta go through the BMC guitar. Hybrid slinkies are great. My preferred gauge too. Yep, especially for E flat. And AV. I prefer elixirs. Cobalts don't sound as good to me. Plus, cobalt is a carcinogenic. Really. Don't be scared, homie. All right, I'm gonna go through chat after I played. Okay. Just going through the last bends, final tuning, and then we'll crank the guitar. Perfect. Perfect. Just almost perfect. It's still a bit sharp. Perfect. Oh, look up. All right. Are you ready to rock? So I'm going to go quiet on this mic. Boom. You should be able to hear me a little bit, but less. I turned the tubes off, which wasn't a good idea. I should have put it in standby. But oh well. Hey, Cascade Explorer, thanks for the $5, man. Good evening, Owen. Hope the back's feeling better. It's a lot better. Here's something. Oops. To help get the AC fixed. Thanks, man. I don't have the guitar plugged in, so I was like, oh, sorry. This is live. I should plug the guitar in, right? It's probably a good idea, right? On my in the room, there's a lot less flub in the lower end. Even with heavy distortion, what's up? Alright. I hate people that do that. But, and we back. Holy shit. Fucking soaked. Are you bitches soaked too? Tone soaked? Downstairs? Skulls on my cup. Metal in my heart. I don't think I'm fucking soaked through. Look at that shit. Like wet t-shirt time. All right, let's go through comments from my in the room, holy shit, it's much better to play new strings because the old ones, you can feel it. You can feel them holding you back. Like they do hold you back. It's like a coating. It's like they're coated. They're like, it's like plain wool. You know, when they're that bad. These are pretty bad. So that was a trip. It was enjoyable. I forgot that it's not just tone. It was more enjoyable to play. Yeah, so Ernie Ball, hit me up. Let's go. I'll give you lots of free press. I want some cobalts pretty cheap, pretty expensive. All right. Let's get my... I still coming back after being lost in a metal haze, all right? Just have a look at comments. All right, boys. The Zeek 1970, love them, they're great. The elixirs. Tim Egan. I guess they come in handy for guys with lock-in trems that dread having to restring. Yeah. Simon P, thanking Tim. Ben Howard, no clarity is much better with the new strings. Yeah, the new no clarity was, it's not night and day, you know, but it's not quite as, it's more of a general clarity, especially in the low end, man. I was in the low end. It would be interesting to play back me doing the Gary Moore stuff, because they felt kind of similar, a little bit easier to play on the new strings. BMC guitar. Brian Seltzer's tech mentioned he didn't like new strings. He preferred old ones, especially when performing live. Yeah, I get it, because modern equipment, modern mics, modern cables, modern PA systems, modern speakers, they're so efficient that everything comes through, all this scree, all the top end, and he usually has pretty, using the type of pickups he uses. What are they that are on those like Gretsch style guitars that he always uses? I can't remember the name for them, but they are pretty treble heavy too. So I'm not surprised he likes older strings. Same as Brian May, same reasons too. Riley VW, the weather up here is so nice. The air is not healthy to breathe. Thanks, Canada. Canada. Yeah, those forest fires, man, out of control. Ben Hauer with the $10. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. You guys are awesome, man. I really appreciate it. Tim Egan, what about the circle tone custom solid copper core wiring head? Can you tell us more about the amp you had built? Yeah, it's right down. It's on the bottom down there. Yeah, I was big on building an amp that had, instead of wire, it was practically everything inside of there was solid core. So there was it was just fucking as tight as fuck. And I also did everything from pure tone jacks on the input and output. And also I kind of removed, because it's like Mesa, they have so many fucking knobs, so many, every time the signal moves through a cap or a resistor or this, that, the other, it's like there's something, the resistance is real, right? So if you go through a rat's nest of a circuit, the resistance is going to suffer. I don't give a fuck. It's just like a good cable versus a bad cable. There's like 100 fucking feet of wire between, well, more than that if you consider the winding of the transformers and everything. So I just try and keep everything copper, everything really tight, solid, good connections, good solder. So that was my idea of but there's just no demand for it. I'm a tiny channel, so it's like it's too much. Here's $10. Switch to Diageo. Oh, I don't like my strings rusting. So, let's have a look. Just looking through old chat. Tim Egan, does Circle Tone still sell custom pickups? I will be selling them in a month. So, but they're not custom, just the ones that I do, the ones that I have left. You just heard them. That was my making even a Mesa Boogie amp sound good. Tim Egan, do any of you use very heavy gauge for speaker to head cable? I again took a copper core. All my speaker cables are solid core, so they're not stranded. I use the Siren speaker cable, and it's actually, I think it's 3 solid core copper cables twined together, which apparently helps interference. If they're all lined up straight together, it's just something happens to the external factors of any signals, RF signals or whatever, or electrical signals. It helps disperse it, apparently. Just the way you twist cables. It gets fucking pretty heavy duty into the mechanics of the flow of audio, you know. Tim Egan, am I top winding or going under the tailpiece? No, I'm just doing it the standard way. Yeah, I don't wind it around. I think you lose a bit of zing when you do it that way. I think Zach Wild does that. Does that wrap around? Abbey Scotland Flower. I'd like to see Lars having an aneurysm about AI, just like he did with Napster. Yeah, Lars will just. He was right. You know, as much as I use Napster myself. But him, Gene Simmons and everything, he was record labels. As soon as Napster came along, it's like, we're not going to pay artists shit. And it's resulted in streaming now, where the artists get even more ripped off, you know. You got a fly in here, god damn it, because I got all windows open and everything. Tim Egan, is this channel doing a little better now? Because we asked for more support for you. No, I'm actually losing subscribers. I'm losing a lot of subs as it happens. So it's, I think YouTube doesn't promote me at all, but also I think me poking fun at black metal didn't go down too well. I don't care. Charles Wagner, leaded solder is best solder. I agree, brother. I agree. I have a little box filled with old illegal solder. All the old shit. Can't remember the brand. What's the brand? I can't remember. Little orange square packets. Tim Egan, I talked with the famous Ken Fisher of Trainwreck Amps, and he did a bit of this wiring too. Oh, he did? The solid state, the solid core. Interesting. BMC guitar. My speaker cable was made by my amp tech. He used power cables to make them. Yeah, that's some good quality. It depends on the power cable itself, because again, some of the made in China power supplies from more recently, the quality of the so-called copper that's in there can be hit and miss. But what I do is, when it comes to that, you can get, they call green dot power supplies, where they're built to withstand hospital grade. So they're really thick, they're really durable, and they're good at not picking up external signals. So you can get used just actually as using as a power cable as well for the amp. My power cables are fucking massive. I use Evidence Audio power cables that are like this thick. Literally, it's fucking insane. I'm retarded. But yeah, if you can go on eBay and you can look for green dot power supply, power cable, hospital grade power cable, and you can get used ones for like $15, and it's gonna help, because everything coming from the house to the amp, there can be so much shit that goes wrong in between those two little places. You'd be amazed that if you change all of the power cables in your rig, in your rack, in your power supply, in your whatever's feeding your pedal, if you just upgrade a little bit, it does make a difference, man. It's just more efficient. It just draws power better, you know. Tim Egan, did you know your comments about the general lack of innovation in today's music is being echoed quite a bit from many guys on YouTube? Interesting. I've to be honest, I've felt, because a lot of unfortunately, they're not going to talk about it because they're all financially interested in things like VST, their own VST amp, their own VST plugins, their own what do they call them? The mat where you have your own patches, you get your own fucking. I'm so hot and bothered right now. I can't even think. What are they called? Where you capture your amp. Anyway, so they're all invested in the new way of doing it. So they get paid to get you to stay in to the new way of doing it. So they're a lot of them, they're not going out of their way to say, hey guys, you should be all playing, not using the stuff that I've been selling for the past 10 years. So there's not a lot of I haven't seen it a lot of. There's a couple that bemoan modern production, but most of them are fucking in the bubble, and they're too close to the trees to see that it's a problem, Tim Egan, like Rick Beato and many others, bashing click tracks and cut and paste techniques, the things I Circleton talk about. Yeah, he breaks down songs really good, and he really does dig into what makes the song great. His thing. He gets a lot of haters, but he's a hard worker, and he does know he is pretty good when it comes to breaking down what makes a song great. And have you noticed, it's very rare that he has something from modern rock and metal in his what makes this so great video series, Ben Howard, Furman power strips are great for reducing weird noise. It depends. The best way to do, if you're really getting bad noise, there's a Humex plug that you can put into your rig. I got some here. Hold on. So a lot of issues come from grounding when it comes to audio, grounding issues. So this thing, a Humex, can you see it? It's a plug that you would plug your power strip into. They're not cheap though. I got a couple of them. But also, what people don't think about is digital chatter. Motherboards are so fucking cheaply built that there's a lot of crosstalk internally. Sometimes you can. It's the example I'll give you is if your cell phone goes off close to your computer, that you can hear that, that type of thing. But there's a lot of that shenanigans going on when you record via USB. And what this is a what's it called? It's a USB. Your USB device. Like I have a Audient USB device. You plug that into this, and this plugs into your computer. This is powered. Yeah, it has to be powered via USB, but it helps with ground loops on the actual motherboard itself, and it helps with the noises associated with PC power supplies, because power supplies can cause all sorts of magnetic interference and such. So it's like there's a lot you can do with gadgets like that to reduce the noise in your system. And transformerless power supplies, Yeah, I did a video. If you search circle of tone pedal noise, I go into depth about how you can, if you the larger pedal boards, the more you're going to run into that noise shit, Christopher D. Kemper. Yeah, Kemper, what are they called? Profiles. So they sound their own profiles of Kemper gear. So they're all like, they're financially, you talk about YouTubers, they want you to keep on using this stuff because they sell it, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. BMC guitar kept blowing tubes thanks to a dodgy speaker cable, so we recommended the power cabling for speakers. Yeah, it's the solid core. It's generally good enough. Tim Egan, like Rick Beato and many others, bashing. Oh yeah, I read that. I'm sweating. That's right, Avi. Yeah, presets and profiling. Sound their own profiles. To me again, you can buy fancy gear. You cannot buy an imagination. It's creativity too. You can have a good imagination, and you gotta have the fucking drive to get it out. Nobody's got that drive to get it. A lot of the most creative people I know, you gotta fucking pull it out of them, like pulling teeth. To me again, does that mean I have no use for fractal or Axe effects? No, until these devices create massive hits and massive buzz about the actual tone. It's like, holy shit, I'm not going to bother, because it doesn't. Nobody likes, there's no hits. Everybody's using them. There's no hits. There's no people fucking falling over to buy their music, stream their music. What's the point in spending all that money on that stuff when nobody likes it? It's handy, it's easy. This isn't, look, I'm fucking sweating. It ain't easy. Tim Egan, how many or any of your Marshalls modded? If so, how? Yep, my Marshalls are pretty much all modded. This one has a Langner mod, which is similar to this. It's basically extra gain stages, extra tubes inside and I actually have a switch where I can switch off to. It's a 3-way switch, so I can shut off one of the tubes or 2 of the tubes. I think I got 3 extra gain stages in there. Fucking amazing amp for really tight, heavy thrash. And my JCM 800 style has a resonance mod on it. And oh no, this is my, what the fuck? Oh yeah, this is my Plexi, and this has a master volume added. So they're all modded, but very I made sure I can mod them to where it cuts out. I don't, I can have it straight up if I need it. But still, like I say, the less in the chain, the better. But Riley VW, why don't I like Ibanez guitars? I don't like the actual the bridge and the scale length and the flatness of the it's all built for speed. It's not so much built for really, because you saw me playing earlier, I was fucking digging into the shit of it. If you dug in on an Ibanez, you'd flatten out, you'd have strings hitting the pickups, you'd have, you can't fucking really play an Ibanez, like rock into it, And also, I think the way that they're the classic Ibanez Super Strat, I don't know what it is, but they're always wimpy sounding, no real guts in them. So they're built for speed. There's obviously exceptions to the rule. I think the Ibanez, the original, was it the UV7 that Steve Vai brought out was that was amazing. That was an amazing guitar. But so they have some hits that sound good and you can still dig in. But for those types of guitars, I actually love Kramer's. I think Kramer's just got the balance right of heaviness and speed. So if you can find old Berettas and stuff, they're so good. I have a couple of them down there. Tim Egan, have I used many Friedman amps? Thoughts? I think Friedman are good when it comes to the modded side. I think they're overrated a little bit. But pure actual tone, they're a bit modern sounding when it comes to the Marshall sound that I like. They're too modern sounding. But they're good. They are, if you told me I'd have to use Friedman for the rest of life, I wouldn't be that bothered. Tim Egan, how often do you retube your amps and power amp tubes? I never really change my preamp tubes, power tubes. They tend to, I can hear it when they're going, I can know it, so then I'll do it. I won't change them until they fail, put it that way. So it depends. If I'm playing, like back in the day when I was playing live, they'd be more often. But for studio stuff, you should be good for fucking 5 years, unless you're playing them every day. You tend to use like different amps, horses for courses. So yeah. Name for that USB suppressor. It's called the iDefender. This particular one is called the iDefender. So that can help with some subtle digital artifacts that you get with these cheap ass power supplies on computers, and you can have all sorts of grounding issues. There's so much that can go wrong with motherboards because there's so much shit going on and there's so much power. There's fucking massive fucking graphics cards sucking power out of every angle, so it's like that type of thing knocks all that down. It's really, really quite effective. And they're not that expensive. I think I paid $30 for that one. Yeah, with Ibanez guitars, it's like if you need help, just call 1-800-MOSQUITO and I'll answer the phone and I'll tell you how you can sell it and get a Kramer. BMC guitar. I have old digital tech gathering dust because I can't sell it. I'm done with buying digital stuff. Yeah. You mean Digitech or digital tech? Yeah, it's the sales, especially. That's why I stopped buying VSTs, because that is a fucking waste of money, man. BMC guitar, line 6 crap or nobody wants. People only want the newer model stuff, and they sell their old stuff for the same price as they bought it. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, the new. If you wanted to buy whatever's latest and greatest, like a Tonex pedal or whatever, it's going to be practically the new price that you get it for after paying for shipping, because it's free shipping on new gear. So you're right about that. What I love telling Strymon people is that they are using Line 6. Strymon was invented by ex-Line 6 people. So where's your tone snobbery now, bitch? J Busk, can I do a Merciful Fate tone recreation? I tried, and I almost got there. From the guitarist. What's his fucking name? Can't believe I can't remember his name. The guitarist of Merciful Fate, King Diamond. Can't remember. But he went dark. It went dark. Ben Ha, I have heard about using an amp and then slaving it out to another amp. Can you explain what this is actually doing in layman terms? Yeah, basically, you can use, say, a Mesa Boogie power section, because Mesas were good with that. They'd have lots of slave outs and things like that. So you could use the preamp section of one amp, this, and instead of it coming out, you'd keep this speaker to a load, and there'd be an output on whatever amp you're using would go into the other amp, and you'd use the power section of that amp. So it's like a mixing the it's a hybrid. So you're using the EQ section and the preamp section on one, and then using the power section on the other. I think that's how it's done anyway. I've never done it. Have I done it? Have I done it? I did it something similar-ish with typo negative, maybe, with a massive movie. I can't remember. But yeah, I think that's it. That's a terrible explanation because I've never actually done it. Avi Scotland Flower. I don't like Basswood and Ibanez, with a few exceptions. Yeah. Yeah, Basswood's it's pretty good, though. I think my Tokai is Basswood, but it does lack a little bit of, it's... Yeah, I get it. Ben Hauer. Ibanez isn't built for a heavy hand, no. It's built for thumb behind forever. No grabbing the neck, BMC guitar, my 90s RG560 with DiMarzio pickups that sound fat as fuck. Still my number one guitar. Hey man. Yeah, the RGs, I never liked them. They're not as bad as the Jackson Tinkies though. They're the fucking trash. Tim Egan, the Fryette Power Station PS100 has been a really useful tool. That's good to know. Fryette is solid. Ben Hauer. Steve Vai has an extremely light touch. Yeah. Yeah, he's very, his right hand, very, very fluid. It's like a fucking hummingbird. Cascade Explorer. Hey Owen, how much does the type of pick you use determine the overall effect on tonal characteristics? A lot. I found that out with I was talking about my pickups earlier, because they're so sharp and quick, and also the internal wire of my guitar, and I got the fucking power tone, the pure tone jack on there, and I use really good cables, so then everything pops out. I've seen some YouTubers do where there's hardly any difference, and the tone, and they were using fucking fat strings, they're using high output pickups, and they're playing metal, and they say, oh, I really can't tell the difference between these picks. No shit, dude. But if you have there's a lot of difference in picks. Like these, I'm using the gravity picks for practice and messing around and rehearsals. I use these, but these have a chippy. They have a plasticky chippy top on these. When you scrape the string against it, it has a chirp. It has an overtone, and it's not a good overtone either. So while this can play fast and really comfortably, it does not sound good. For the good shit, I use chicken picks. The material of chicken picks is really, really fucking good. But also metal. If I'm doing my Sunday best, I'll have I think it's aluminium was my number one, but it gets black. It makes my hands black, so it's probably fucking toxic. But metal picks and chicken picks are my favorites when it comes to tonality. Chicken picks, they're fucking fantastic. They're expensive, but when at the end of the day, if you're using it constantly and it costs $10, but you're using it forever, it's a good investment, man. Jay Busk, I'm playing my Kramer right now. I give it a fret job. I just restrung it. Gonna give me my Mick Mars signature restoring tomorrow. That's fucking cool, man. Refretted it. That's an undertaking. Avi, have I checked out the recent Bogren amp plugins? The EVH and the 5150 are really great. The minimalistic design is awesome too. No knob fiddling, just plug and play. Great high gain sounds. Yeah, I tend to have been satisfied. I use the neural gnarly archetype. I use that, and I've been so satisfied by it. Relatively for VST, relatively. Don't get me wrong. I'll go fucking real amp any day, but that I have actually stopped looking at other stuff. So I might check that out. If you can leave that as a comment on the video, and I'll check them out, because I do have to keep up. I'm gonna check out the Tone X, because I do keep up on the stuff. I can't just talk shit about it and not know, what they sound like. Because I've owned the Kempers. I know the. I haven't owned an XFX, but I've never been blown away by people. Have you noticed? Try and find a fucking XFX demo that has no reverb or delay. Riddle me that shit. Just straight up amp tone. You fucking rarely will hear it, because they all know you got to hide that fucking nasty digital shit that's on top. Bogren. I'll check it out. Ryan Swain. Oh, and if Gibson sued Dean for copyright and won, does that mean Fender can sue every amp company? Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, because Marshall is based on Fender back in the day. Tim Egan. Do I have any discipline for how long I practiced? I literally didn't play guitar at all for 7 months recently. Because when I first moved here, all of my stuff was like wrapped up, and I literally didn't hold a guitar for 7 months. So I need to actually practice. I might actually do live streams where I practice. So I'm way out of practice. So no, I'm fucking terrible at I never really practice. I'm always, every time I'm picking up a guitar, I'm actually doing something for the channel with it. I never sit down and just fucking noodle. BMC guitar. The digital Metallica live sound is complete arse sounding. There's a funny tone in the muting. It's fucking awful. Yeah, there's a little overtone that digital usually can't get out of in the upper mids. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. But it's similar to the overtone in a vintage 30. That way you get doing it naturally, and it's just unpleasant. Ben Hauer, you are right for using your ear as far as changing power tubes go. No matter what, every individual tube has a different shelf life than the next. Yeah, I also, when I hear it go, I just pull the outer tubes and I change the ohms, and I just use it as a 50 watter until the new tubes come. So Tim Egan, have you had friends that drugs took a heavy toll on their playing career, personal life? Yeah, me. Doctor when I had failed back surgery, they put me on oxycodone. I didn't know about it. I didn't know how bad it is. Before I knew it, I was addicted. And when I realized this is taking over, where you only want your fix, you don't want to fucking play guitar, you don't want to hang out with your family, you don't want to do this. I went cold turkey, and holy shit, going cold turkey from oxy. Holy shit. And it's actually scandalous that doctors would put me on that. It's a fucking scandal. I was never a big drug person. So yeah. I've recently given up alcohol too, which is a big one for me. But yeah, it's literally killed my friends. Drugs. One of the first singers that was in one of my bands, Wayno. Absolute madman. Talk about fucking superstar. But I took him out. He died young. So it's... Yeah, there's... With drugs, it's impossible because everybody's appetites are different. So sometimes you just have to wash your hands of people, if they're too far gone. You know, it's there. We got to fucking take personal responsibility at the end of the day. BMC laughing at Strymon that they used to be fucking the POD people. Pod. So they mentioned that on JHS. He's really good, man. The JHS. Honestly, the pedals kind of gone down a little bit in my opinion when it comes to quality, but the old shit was good. It's so fucking hipster now. The old color box is so good. Yeah, Metallica live sound has changed. Andy LaRock, yep, that's it. J Busk. Yeah, he got in touch with me. I got in touch with him. He came back. I said, "Les, can you remember what mics, this, that?" And they said, "Yeah, sure." And then went dark. J Busk, what do I think of Jackson's soloists? Soloists are some of the best stuff that Jackson have put out. Jackson, in my opinion, are pretty clunky. I don't think they're actually as fast as Kramer's or generally. I'm being general. But Jackson, you have to get a fucking old USA for them to be any good, to be honest. And then they're very good. J Busk, when am I going to sell my pickups again? Probably in a month. I want to sell them all by the end of the year. And I think I'm going to reduce them in price so that they all go, so I just forget about them then. Anthony Gates, Ingrid Malmsteen and Michael Angelo Beato killed rock by creating guitar nerds. Yeah, the old Shrapnel label did take its toll on the scene, you know. It's funny, have you seen his hair? Does he have to check his hair in, like, as an animal underneath the plane, you know, in a crate? Abbey Scotland Flower. I use giant triangle picks for rhythm, smaller, faster, melodic solos. Yeah, mine are pretty big. These are not massive, but mine are pretty thick and big. Good for control. Tim Egan, do I play out and jam with old friends in clubs? Where is my playing nowadays in terms of playing in front of audiences? I don't play out ever. So I haven't played for a decade. So there's nothing around here. I'm in Port St. Lucie, and there is nothing here. And the ones that are here, you get trouble getting paid. Like a good friend of mine is in a band called Man-Made Weather, and he recently put up a post shit talking about the club that didn't pay him. J Busk, the one guy that makes Kemper profiles that I like is Top Jimmy. He has a really cool collection of old Marshalls. I think I'd be really good at making Kemper profiles. If you were here earlier, I was talking about how inside my cabinets I have solid core speaker cables and lead solder and pure tone jacks and everything vintage speakers, the good shit. You know what I mean? I think my profiles would be fucking amazing. So I'm actually probably cutting. Maybe I should do it and sell out. I just hate selling shit, man. I'd rather sell conversation, you know, where we talk about the scene and the gear and the what's important. I'd rather sell that and get, like, I've had donations today. I'd rather sell that than actually physically selling shit, you know. Anthony Gates, James Hetfield uses voice effects these days. It's fucking cruelty. It's almost like Joe Biden making him play live. You know what I mean? You can see him before the gig, just like bracing himself for absolute hell. Poor bastard. Playing Metallica live is a fucking bitch, singing and playing that shit. And he's 60? Respect, man. Respect. Tim Egan, this live session seems like it's been fun for you as well as us. Will I do it again? Yeah, I think all my tone recreations will be live now. So I'm just figuring out the setup and everything. But that seemed to work, right? The with the mixer and the 3 mic and switch in between. So you can still kind of hear me talking, not as good, but if I shout. Yeah, this is going to be the new normal. Because I'm fed up of YouTube stealing all my fucking money for copyright, you know? Riley VW, what's my thoughts on guitars from AliExpress? There's so many different companies that are on AliExpress that I actually went to NAMM once to look at all the Chinese companies, and there are some fantastic Chinese companies, but then the ones that are bad are very bad. So it's hit and miss. And now everything's CNC'd, so it should be good. It should be, I mean, wood is wood, you know? So I've noticed a lot of manufacturers are having trouble with cracked fretboards and shit like that, because the old rosewood it's not rosewood anymore. But the people trying to do mahogany, trying to do the more expensive tone woods for the fretboards, they're having to use almost like fake wood, and it's cracking. So it's, if I would buy anything, that's like with my guitar, I have maple. Maple grows like fucking weeds in Canada, so I use Canadian maple. It's abundant. There isn't mafias controlling the fucking the price of it, you know, because literally people are dying for rosewood. Literally people are being killed like a cartel, by cartels, because it's so fucking expensive and rare. It's like rhino horn, you know. So if you are trying to get something from AliExpress, I'd highly recommend anything with maple fretboards, because they are maple, you know, and they don't stretch and turn as much as other woods. Bogren. Yeah, I was getting like Jens Bogren. So Avi, you're talking about The Sims. Yeah, I'll check that out. With a built-in tube screamer. I actually pitched that to an amp company back in the day to have the tube screamer switchable with a foot switch, or just built onto the amp for studio, so that it wouldn't be another cable, another power supply that you'd have to introduce to it. And they told me it's a stupid idea. I was like, all right. BMC guitar, you need a mic for voice. Yeah. A mic for voice when playing would be nice. Yeah, I could probably set that up. It'd be another mic down here or something. It's a good point. All right, boys. I'm drenched in sweat. You can almost see my abs now. Come on, boys. I'm almost getting abs. There's a lot of fucking fat covering them, but I'm starting to see them, the top ones. So we get in there with the weight loss. All right, boys, you have a good one. It's been fun. Probably lost another 10 pounds just doing this. You can see it's like stuck to me. So I'm going to go cool down. Circle tone.